in your card. It's clear that you have 10 billion. But you're not happy because the system requires you to spend all of it within 24 hours. Or else you'll be fined. You shudder as you pick up the phone. Seeing the number read 10.05 billion nam su. Without hesitation, you drive straight to a seaside villa. As you get out of the car, you hear a security guard's voice. This is a wealthy neighborhood. No invitation, no entry. You don't waste any time and immediately say, I want to buy a villa. The security guard looks you up and down, sizing you up. You want to buy a villa? He mutters in disbelief, thinking to himself about his monthly salary of 2.300. I don't want to waste time talking to you. You're making me slow to spend money. And that's making me uncomfortable. He pauses for a moment, processing what you just said. He'd never heard anyone complain about wasting time spending money before. Then, with a smile, he turns to his colleague, shaking his head. This guy must be a joke. He thinks, noticing your appearance. Why don't you just make up a fake 500 billion message or something? You look like a fortune teller, carrying around a bag of fake remedies. You probably think a fake message makes you a billionaire. You feel a surge of frustration, realizing why this security guard was so notorious. Just as you and the guard exchange words, a car pulls up to the gate. A familiar voice rings out. It must be Ho Tam. You turn around and see inside the car. And sure enough, it's not the girl who tricked you. Seeing her infuriates you to the point where you feel like exploding. But then, you remember that you currently have 10 billion. And you force yourself to calm down a little. Actually, you were heading to the Vang Vine villa to buy it. I came here to buy a villa. Not in sin, you reply, trying to focus. Vong An Hong laughs mockingly. What are you doing here? I can't hear you clearly. Soldier, can you hear me? My useless ex-boyfriend says he's here to buy a villa. The man driving the car laughs, adding, coincidentally, we're here to buy a villa too. If you say you're buying a villa, why not get in the car with us? He emphasizes the last 3 words one by one. Confused about how to deal with the security guard, you immediately agree and get into the car. I didn't expect you to actually get in my car. Not afraid of messing up my boyfriend's new car? Vong An Hong taunts. It's fine. Just let him see what kind of villa he buys. Lee Tung Kwan looks at you, awaiting your response. This car is probably worth more than $1 billion. Right? He says. So, I think you're just making fun of me. He shakes his head. Anyway, this car is only worth around 100 million. You respond calmly. I don't care how much my car costs. You can't buy it anyway. It's true, the car might be worth over $1 billion. But you really don't care. Vong An Hong laughs again. I don't believe it, she teases. Why didn't I know you were so good before? She winks at you, adding, of course, you wouldn't know. You came to me not because you wanted my body. Right? Lee Tung Kwan looks at Vong An Hong and asks, didn't you tell him that you were still single? Vong An Hong responds firmly. Kwan Ca, I'm not lying to you. Although you and Ho Tam have been together for almost 2 years. He has never touched you. Ho Tam, stop lying to me, you say firmly. It's true, Vong An Hong and I have been together for almost 2 years. And I've never even held her hand. Don't believe it? Are you trying to take revenge on me? You kicked me out. Vong An Hong went crazy. You're so mean. Now your lover is angry. After saying this, you opened the car door and stepped out, feeling strangely lighthearted. As you walked away, you heard Lee Tung Kwan muttering, his frustration obvious. You also kicked me out? Hurry up. You barely paid attention to him. But his words stung. Even someone as poor as Ho Tam could keep a girlfriend for 2 years. Do you think I'm some kind of fool? With those thoughts, you walked into the sales room. A well-known female salesperson greeted you immediately. Do you want to buy a villa? She asked. Give me the most expensive one. You replied, interrupting her before she could finish speaking. Without hesitation, you pulled out your bank card and handed it to her. Are you serious, brother? The female salesperson was stunned. This was her first time encountering a customer like you. And her reaction was somewhat off. Other customers and salespeople around you watched in surprise. You, however, weren't bothered. If you wanted to buy something, you preferred to just do it. I can pay you back later. Yu added nonchalantly. If you want to act, you have to act. Li Tongquan walked in right after you. But the female salesperson was clearly irritated by the whole situation. This is so obvious, she muttered. Brother, the most expensive villa we have here is number 2. Priced at 8.8 billion. Are you sure you want to buy it? Yu raised an eyebrow, not impressed. What? The most expensive villa is less than 10 billion? Do you think I'm a fool? Yu asked, your tone full of dissatisfaction. The female salesperson smiled, clearly trying to keep her composure. But everyone in the room was now looking at her. She pointed at Yu and said, he's my ex-boyfriend. He was too poor, so after we broke up, he couldn't stand it and decided to come here to buy a villa. Now, he probably doesn't even have 1.000 billion. You weren't fazed. Take the card and let's buy the villa. Don't waste my time and money. You're irritating me. Everyone was shocked again. Was this guy serious? It didn't look like a joke. But it was so exaggerated that it was hard to believe. Don't waste my time and money. You repeated. Your frustration building. Hurry up. I'm in a hurry. This statement pushed everyone to their limits. I've lived half my life and never seen anyone act like this. Someone muttered under their breath. Just then, the doorbell rang. Everyone froze, the sudden sound catching them off guard. They all turned to look at the female salesperson, who was equally stunned. She hadn't expected to encounter such a rich customer during her workday. Mr. Li, it's your turn, she said, still processing the situation. The man smiled and said, I remember. My grandmother's house is about to be demolished. Next time, I'll come and buy it. Then he quickly left. Which villa is cheaper? If there is one, I'll buy it. Anyway, my goal is to spend all this 10 billion. The female salesperson was on the verge of tears. Her voice trembling. But the way she spoke made everyone uneasy. At that moment, the green tea girl suddenly grabbed her arm. Tamka, you know, you're the one who hid this from me. You intentionally said goodbye to provoke him. You see, your provocation worked. Just 2 days later, the truth finally came out. Hearing that, he took a deep breath. I really didn't expect the powder on her face to be so thick. He muttered to himself, I'm not interested in her. He pushed her aside and turned to the female salesperson. Beautiful girl, what did I ask you just now? The female salesperson was stunned by his sudden question. Brother, which villa is cheaper? The 8th villa costs 1.2 billion. She said, her face lighting up with excitement. If you really want it, we can give you a discount. She had seen customers joke around before. But the card was in his hand. And she wasn't sure why he wasn't moving forward yet. Brother, wait a moment. I'll prepare the file right away. Not long after, the sound of the bell rang again. The female salesperson was practically jumping with excitement. While she was preparing the contract, a beautiful manager stepped in. Brother, what are you doing here? The manager asked with a smile. I'm Trong Tuyet, the manager of the Vien Bien Villa sales department. Because of the large sum you're about to spend, I'll personally serve you. With that, Trong Tuyet adjusted her shirt, looking over at him in a subtle, yet intentional way. It was white and very attractive. The female salesperson immediately noticed. But she wasn't impressed. Anyway, this transaction, based on the commission, isn't small, she thought to herself, a smile creeping onto her face. No need to bother the manager. Just let her serve me. Brother, what are you talking about? Trong Tuyet continued. She's Lu Nyat Tan, the new salesperson. She doesn't even know all the procedures yet. I'm the one who should be serving you. Trong Tuyet stared at Lu Nyat Tan, who clearly understood the manager's authority. Faced with the threat of being fired, Lu Nyat Tan had no choice but to step aside. She wasn't happy about giving up the commission. But she had no choice. I said it again, he interjected. Just let her serve me. If not, return my money. I won't buy this villa anymore. Moreover, he continued, when I arrived earlier, no one came to pick me up. Now, when I've already lost money, you're suddenly appearing again. What do you think I am? This remark made Trong Tuyet's face harden. She forced a smile. A new rich family is emerging. She thought to herself. But she didn't let it show. Do you really consider yourself a rich man? She smiled, her voice dripping with sarcasm. If you want, you could buy a few more villas. But he wasn't paying attention to her. He turned to Lu Nyat Tan and said firmly, hurry up and prepare the contract for me. I don't want to say it again. If you don't serve me, I won't buy this villa anymore. Lu Nyat Tan, now moved by his urgency, quickly replied, yes, Mr. Ho. I'll prepare 2 villas for you right away. Please wait a moment. About half an hour later, Lu Nyat Tan returned with the contracts. Mr. Ho, the contract is ready. You just need to sign. And the villa will be yours. He quickly signed the contract. As soon as he finished, the system pinged. Task completed. Spend 10 billion Vietnamese dongs within 24 hours to receive a reward. New task. Spend 20 billion Vietnamese dongs in 1 day. Mission failed. Get 2 gifts. The task completion notifications kept popping up one after another. To make matters worse, the amount of money you had to spend kept growing. Lu Nyat Tan watched you. Puzzled, you were excited one moment, grinning foolishly the next. She hesitated, then asked carefully, Mr. Ho, do you need us to show you around the villas? No need. How many villas do you have here? You asked, calculating how much money you'd spend in total. No problem. I'll buy them all. What? The people in the villa started laughing. They even wondered if you were pretending to be rich just to spend money. But now, they were genuinely scared. Mr. Ho, are you serious? Lu Nyat Tan's blood pressure was rising. She could barely keep her composure. Lu Nyat Tan, let me remind you one more time. Don't doubt my ability to spend money. Don't delay my spending. If you do, I'll be really angry. Mr. Ho, we still have a lot of villas to sell. Lu Nyat Tan said in a low voice, trying to keep calm. I don't care how many you have left. Hurry up and calculate for me. Lu Nyat Tan's heart was racing. She felt like she was in a dream. It was so unreal. Don't stop him. Hurry up and send him a message. She said loudly, still not believing Ho Tam could spend 10 billion more. Even if he wasn't a fool, there was no way he could buy so many villas at once. Yes, Mr. Ho, Lu Nyat Tan said quickly. Please wait a moment. I'll process everything and adjust the villa list according to your request. She added with a strained smile. Remember, don't waste my precious time. Delaying my spending is like making an enemy of me. Tam Ca, I know my mistake. Vong An Hong called out, her voice desperate. Can we make amends? If we do, you'll have me for the future. I'm sorry, she continued, eyes fixed on you. A good horse doesn't eat grass. Look around. Is there anyone more beautiful than you? If I chase them, won't they accept me? Mr. Ho, my name is Tran Yen. Another woman spoke up. I've never been in love. My name is Duong Wai, another woman said. I graduated from university, but I've never held a man's hand. Now, several female salespeople surrounded you, each trying to flaunt their features. Vong An Hong saw this scene, and her face turned pale. Her blood drained. Tam, don't be like that, she pleaded. I know you love me. I know you want me. Now that I've followed you, I'll let you have me. Vong An Hong almost sounded like a madwoman, pulling her friend along as she tried to run away. She shoved her friend aside. When I loved you, you treated me coldly. Now that I don't love you anymore, you want to humble yourself again? Why are you so stingy? Mr. Ho, can we go to the VIP room to talk? The manager, Trong Tuyet, entered, lowering her voice. He was about to refuse, but then thought, if we're going to talk, then let's talk. We won't lose anything. He followed Trong Tuyet into the VIP room. As soon as they entered, Trong Tuyet immediately locked the door and pushed him down onto the sofa. An hour and a half later, he shoved her off and said coldly, the villa is surrounded by the sea. Whichever room you like, just choose. He opened the door and walked out. When he entered the lobby, everyone's eyes turned to him. Mr. Ho, this is the villa he bought, including the 500 million villa on top of the mountain. It's worth 20 billion in total. At that moment, the system announced, congratulations on completing the task of spending 20 billion in 24 hours. Reward received, New task. Spend 30 billion in 24 hours. Mission failed. Let go of a little boy. You seem to understand. This system was forcing you to lose money every day. If you didn't spend it all, you'd be punished. And if you did, the amount would only keep increasing. Trong Tuyet put on her clothes and stepped out. You, Mr. Ho, you definitely want to give her a villa, right? She asked loudly. Definitely. Whichever room you like. Just choose, he replied confidently. At that moment, his ex-girlfriend was still holding on to him. Tam, how can you treat me like this? I don't care. Now I want to be your woman. After saying that, she burst into tears, her face full of sorrow. Vong An Hong. It was she who took the initiative to say goodbye. Deceived me, and made me go pick up the bottle. I have no hope left for her. I don't even want to bother dragging her out. Immediately, you protect the river, dragging Vong An Hong out. At this moment, 7 or 8 sales staff gathered around you, serving you like royalty. Each one of them eagerly picked a villa for you. In fact, the first reaction of one of the sales staff was to be happy and smart, clearly thinking you were joking. But you were completely serious. About an hour later, you signed the rest of the purchase contracts. By now, you had bought every villa around the city. At this time, Trong Tuyet arrived, speaking loudly. Mr. Ho, their boss called and wants to meet you. She invites you to the Phone Tin Hotel for a meal. Phone Tin Hotel was the landmark of To City, the only 7-star hotel in the area. You refused immediately. I'm not interested. I'm in a hurry to spend money here. Hearing that, all the sales staff were very surprised. Why do you all look like that? You asked. Seeing their curious expressions, Loon Yat Tan, without hesitation, said, Mr. Ho, maybe you don't know, their boss is Hoang Tam Dui, the most beautiful woman in To City. Hoang Tam Dui is the boss of the ladies, the goddess of the people. She added, well then, if that's the case, I'll show my beauty. Tell her I'm going to the Phone Tin Hotel immediately. You said. Trong Tuyet nodded and hurriedly contacted Hoang Tam Dui. Are you ready to leave? You asked. Of course, Trong Tuyet replied, looking at you with a smile. But, I don't have a motorbike. Do you have one to take me to the Phone Tin Hotel? Mr. Ho, I do, she replied, as all the sales staff responded in unison. Or should Loon Yat Tan take me? You added. After all, you're the champion of sales now. Loon Yat Tan blushed and hesitated. Why not agree? You teased. Mr. Ho, it's not like that, she stammered. It's just that you go by electric motor. Electric motor is fine, you interrupted. So, take me with you. A group of sales staff escorted you to Loon Yat Tan's electric motor. She blushed even more and hesitated before speaking again. Mr. Ho, please get on the motor. You sat on the motor, gently hugging Loon Yat Tan's waist under the envious eyes of the other sales staff. As the motor started moving, Loon Yat Tan's body shivered slightly. She took a deep breath, realizing it wasn't too much of a thing, and drove off. Phone Tin Hotel was located in the heart of To City, close to the coastal villa. But since Loon Yat Tan's electric motor was carrying an extra passenger, it couldn't reach the destination smoothly. Eventually, they hit a bump, causing the motor to slow down. Mr. Ho, maybe you should call a motor to Phone Tin Hotel while I push this one to find a place to charge. Loon Yat Tan suggested. Come on, you're a girl, let me push the motor. I'm not bullying you, you teased. Why? She asked, looking at you. Like this. You sit up, and I'll push the motor. Hurry up, don't waste my time. Loon Yat Tan laughed bitterly, then sat on the motor, thinking to herself, are you lying? You'll find out soon enough. She pushed Loon Yat Tan aside. And not long after, they encountered a problem. Mr. Ho, get on the motor, she said hurriedly, as you climbed onto the motor. Speeding towards an elephant, you were about to turn around but realized the elephant didn't move. So you nudged it. The electric motor collided with the Maserati in front. A female driver turned around and flinched, causing a commotion. Don't do this. You hit my motor. I just bought it, she said, flinching as she waited for the apology. Beautiful girl, how much does your motor cost? I'll buy it, You said casually. In the countryside. Some old ladies say if you want to buy my motor. It costs 500 million. You take it. You took out your phone. Transferred 500 million. Then 500 million again. And again 500 million. The female driver was shocked. Staring at you. Dressed in cheap clothes. Completely disbelieving. You like to act, right? I'll see where you get 500 million from. After saying that, she took out her phone. Her fingers trembling. More and more people gathered around. Just waiting for the transfer. Most of them, being poor, were waiting for an apology for the motor bump. When the alarm went off, signaling the transfer, the crowd went silent. 500 million, it was really transferred. The female driver was in disbelief. 500 million, she could hardly believe it. You had bought her motor. And then added 3 more. Beautiful girl, I bought the motor. And the electric motor is for you. After saying that, you pulled away from the Maserati and made your way to the Phone Tin Hotel. You threw the keys to Loon Yacht Tan. The car's for you. Just go. Meet the big boss of the girls. Mr. Ho. Just leave. The big boss didn't say to take me. Following will be misunderstood. Loon Yacht Tan replied quickly. Not giving you a chance to get in the car. She hurriedly left. You watched her leave. Then turned and walked to the Phone Tin Hotel. Please stop. I would like to ask if you have an appointment, 2 hotel staff asked as you arrived. A woman named Hoang Tam Dui invited me here to eat. Please check for me. You responded. Brother, don't joke anymore. Hoang Tam Dui is the most beautiful woman in our city. You should check more carefully. The staff member said, still unsure. Wait a moment. I'll contact her right away. She said, then stepped away. A minute later, she returned. Brother, Hoang Tam Dui really is waiting for you in the most luxurious VIP room of Phone Tin Hotel. She looked at the other staff member coldly and added, remember, don't look down on others in the future. If you do, even this job of yours won't be sustainable. The first sentence made the other staff member's face turn pale. And the second left them extremely worried. Brother, I'm sorry, I was wrong earlier. Please. A generous person like you wouldn't be harsh on me. Right? The staff member stammered. You stepped into Phone Tin Hotel. Where the extravagant decorations inside took you by surprise. This hotel belongs to you? If I want to buy it. How much do I need? You casually asked. Brother, I'm not sure about this either. But I heard the market value of the hotel is around 380 billion. The staff member replied quickly. You made your way to the top floor and looked around. But didn't see anyone. Hoang Tam Dui wasn't there yet. You asked. Brother, Ms. Hoang said she was busy. And I should entertain you first. She'll be here soon. You nodded and found a place to sit down. Eating a sweet cake as you waited. Half an hour later, Ms. Hoang still hadn't arrived. You started to grow impatient. Feeling the heat rising in you. You stood up, ready to leave. Brother. What brother? You said to Hoang Tam Dui. If you don't have time. Don't waste my time and money by dating me. After that, you were angry and left. The staff heard you say that you were angry. Women, forever waiting for the speed of a man's spending. Always have to find a place where they can spend money happily. Just as you left, a tall American with a perfect figure, escorted by 2 guards, arrived at Phone Tin Hotel. The manager saw him and hurriedly went out to meet him. Ms. Hoang, I'm sorry, the guest of Mr. Ho, whom you promised to wait for, got angry and left after an hour. He also said. The manager trailed off. Hoang Tam Dui was furious. What else did he say? She asked sharply. Mr. Ho also said if you don't have time, don't waste his time and money. Waste time and money? Hoang Tam Dui's eyes widened. Are you sure you didn't hear that wrong? I heard it clearly. Ms. Hoang. Mr. Ho said that as he was leaving. He wanted to find a place to spend money happily. Hoang Tam Dui's curiosity piqued. She immediately instructed to find out where Ho Tam was. 5 minutes later, the guard returned with an update. Boss, I found it. Ho Tam is at the International Trade Center nearby. Let's go there and see. At the International Trade Center. Your goal was simple. Buy expensive clothes. However, in some stores, you were treated as a beggar. And the clothes were too cheap. You moved on to the next store. Sorry, sir. The rule of our noble store is that if you don't have a balance of over 100 million, you can't shop here, the clerk said politely. Would you like to provide proof of your balance? You were taken aback by such a rule. Yes, of course. I'll provide my bank card. The clerk took your card and said, please wait a moment while I check your balance. You quickly entered your password. Password, 123,456. The clerk, having dealt with many people like you before, expected you to be one of those who, despite claiming to have money, likely didn't. But when she checked your balance, her eyes widened in shock. She glanced at her colleague, who was equally surprised. The amount on the screen was 30 billion. 30 billion? The clerk gasped. The people around you were equally stunned. You had just casually presented such a large amount of money. It was definitely unusual. Hoang Tam Dui, who had been keeping track of your spending, was now completely shocked, including the amount of money lost in the apartment earlier. You had more than 50 billion in total. So, do I have the right to go shopping? You asked casually. Handing over your bank card again. Of course, sir, the saleswoman said, all smiles, ushering you inside. What kind of clothes would you like to buy? You leaned back in the chair and replied, the most expensive one is fine. Just remember, I only want expensive. The saleswoman's eyes lit up, and she offered you a cup of hot tea. Brother, what kind of clothes do you want to buy? This vest is our main product, designed by our top fashion designer. You didn't have the patience to wait. How much? You asked directly. The entire store went silent at your words. Brother, this vest costs 38 million. The saleswoman said, a little surprised. 38 million for such a good vest? You asked, raising an eyebrow. I'm not satisfied. Give me the best dress. Even if it's just one piece. It must be the most expensive. You declared, money is not a problem. I only need the best. Brother, what do you want to buy? Are you sure? The saleswoman asked. I'm sure. You affirmed. Just give me the most expensive option. Around 30 billion. The entire store went silent in shock. Extremely shocked. A dress of 20 billion? How will that be? One of the saleswomen said. Clearly afraid. Brother, what do you want to buy? The most expensive clothes we have are here. But none are above 5 million. At this moment, the manager stepped forward and said, Brother, I'm the manager of this noble store. I heard your request. We do have a priceless dress. But it's not available here. We would need to order it from another city. Don't talk nonsense. Just give me the price. You said, your patience running thin. The manager hurriedly responded, Brother, this dress costs 3 billion. 3 billion is fine. Give me 9 sets. You demanded. The manager was stunned. If I didn't know you had 30 billion, I'd think you were just messing with us. She said, still trying to process the request. Mr. Ho, are you serious? Why, do I look like I'm joking? You replied. When can I get the goods? Well, the manager hesitated. This dress has only one set in the entire country. If you want 9 sets, they will need to be ordered from abroad. But the set in the country can be delivered in 3 days. Great. Hurry up and process it. You said, throwing your bank card to the manager. The entire store was in shock once again. Brother, what are you doing? Are you thinking again? One of the staff members asked. The manager took a deep breath and said, I said, give me the card. You know your job is to spend money. Spend all of it. Hurry up. Don't slow me down. You're annoying me. You added impatiently. The system requires me to spend all 30 billion in 24 hours. Not just leave 2 billion. Mr. Ho, the manager tried to calm you down. But the rest of the costumes need at least half a month to be shipped. Or should I buy the whole store? You asked. Mr. Ho, she whispered, this needs to be approved by our boss. Wait here. Everyone looked up when the voice of Hoang Tam Dui, the first beauty of To City, rang out. Sell it to him, she said, her voice clear and commanding. Is this store also hers? The salespeople wondered, their breath catching as the goddess walked past them, causing everyone to freeze in awe. Hoang Tam Dui walked straight to you. Mr. Ho, I heard I invited you to eat. But you slowed down your spending. I don't know how much money you want to spend, but I can meet you halfway. Your eyes lit up. Really, you said? Your voice full of excitement. Your gaze made Hoang Tam Dui blush slightly. A little shy. Really, you continued? That's great. Let's finish this store contract first. You said eagerly. 21 billion. I'll directly transfer it to you or withdraw the card. Withdraw the card. You quickly answered. Excitement in your voice. You threw the card to the manager. Urging. Hurry up. Collect the money and sign the contract. Yes. Mr. Ho. The manager said, rushing to complete the paperwork. You chose a beautiful dress to change into. After a while, you stepped out of the changing room. Stunning everyone. The beauty of the clothes combined with your presence made it clear. Money really does make a difference. After changing into just a few million worth of clothes, your temperament was instantly elevated. Even Hoang Tam Dui had to take a second look. About 40 minutes later, the manager returned with the contract. Mr. Ho. No. Please sign it, she said, handing over the papers. Once you sign, the store will belong to you. You grabbed the contract without a second glance and signed it right away. At that moment, the system announced, complete the task of spending 20 billion in 24 hours. Reward received. New task. Spend 50 billion in 24 hours. Mission failed. Leave a little boy. Mission completed. Reward. Secret gift package. You hesitated for a moment before opening the secret gift package. Congratulations to the owner of the gift package. Strengthening points received, 72. Total points, 134. Seeing more than 100 points of strengthening, you felt satisfied, but you weren't in a hurry to use them. Instead, you turned to Hoang Tam Dui, teasing her. Hoang Tam, it seems like we're dating now, right? Do you want to continue dating? The entire store gasped in shock. Brother, Mr. Ho really knows how to joke. The saleswoman laughed nervously. I have no right to date a big boss like you. Just then, a young man rushed in. Seeing this, Hoang Tam Dui immediately raised her hand to signal him. Mr. Tai, please don't bother me anymore. I have a boyfriend, she said, clearly trying to push you away. However, the feeling of being so close to her, you just wanted to scream in happiness. Mr. Tai immediately glared at you. Kid, what skills do you have to be Hoang Tam Dui's boyfriend? Making beer to help you isn't going to work for you. The threat was clear, but you smiled, unfazed. Making beer to help you? I am Tam Dui's boyfriend. If you don't take the bait, you're really stupid. You wrapped your arms around Hoang Tam Dui's slim waist, making Mr. Tai furious. My woman, and you dare to touch her? If you die, I'll make you leave this city with nothing. Mr. Tai threatened. Make me empty-handed? You think you can? You retorted. Unfazed. Then, you took out your bank card. I don't have any special abilities. I just have one advantage, plenty of money. The country folk who talk about money in front of me are really funny. I'll show you how poor you really are. How do you want me to show you? Mr. Tai sneered. It's simple, you replied. There's a lottery in my city today. Dare to try? Let's see who has more money. Mr. Tai smirked, clearly trying to provoke you. Mr. Tai, you're going too far, Hoang Tam Dui interjected, sensing what was going on. Who doesn't know that the lottery is yours? So what? Mr. Tai shrugged. This kid's wealth doesn't come naturally. Dare to go? Let's see. You stood firm, saying, go right now. I'll spend enough to leave you empty-handed. Mr. Tai laughed maniacally. Go ahead. I'm waiting for you to buy your way to make me empty-handed. Hoang Tam Dui shook her head. Ho Tam, don't be emotional. Do you know that the market value of NHA Ho Chu silver is 500 billion? I'm waiting. Tam Dui, do you want to go with me? You asked. Glancing at her, she blinked at you and said, let's go together, but I hope you don't cry. Mr. Tai smiled darkly. Hoang Tam Dui, he won't be crying because he'll be fainting from the shock. The precious silver of Chu Tea Group. With a box M is right in front of me. There are also precious stones from all over the world. As long as you trust your eyes, you can buy treasures at a cheap price. Don't you want to buy all of my property? I'm waiting for you to buy all of it. Mr. Tai provoked. Looking at you smugly. You smiled confidently. I ho Tam. Always do what I say I can do. Take me to the most expensive materials. Follow me. Hoang Tam Dui nodded. Encouraging you. Don't be impatient. The more money you spend on Nha Ho Chu silver, the more Nha Ho Chu earns. She added. You nodded. It's okay. I don't lack money. You said, feeling determined. Quickly. Take me to the high-end area. They led you to the area. Here it is, the manager said. The cheapest material here is 50 million. The most expensive might be that British material. The guide explained. You immediately began to observe your surroundings, assessing everything carefully. Not only a small material by hand, but also one worth 80 million. Then, your eyes were drawn to a huge material in front of you. The surface had a greenish hue, creating a very special and alluring feel. You walked closer and saw the low price, fixed at 50 billion. It was too coincidental. What else? You said, pulling out your card and handing it to Chu Tin Tai. 50 billion. I'll take this material. Chu Tin Tai instinctively grabbed the bank card, his fingers trembling as he touched it. The people around stopped and stared at him in shock. Kid, are you sure there's 50 billion in this card? Chu Tin Tai asked, extremely suspicious. Although you dressed luxuriously, 50 billion was no small sum. Initially, he thought a few tens of millions would be enough to make you falter. Unexpectedly, it was indeed 50 billion. Why, don't you dare to sell? You asked with a hint of contempt. The price list is clear. If you dare to spend, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't dare to sell. The manager responded, handing over the card. I want to see if there's really 50 billion in it, said a middle-aged man, stepping forward with a machine in his hand. Ho Tam, don't act recklessly, Hoang Tam Dui hurriedly advised. Don't worry about it. Let's see if this guy can really have 50 billion or not. The manager entered the password, and the machine showed the amount. The man immediately shivered in surprise. He was shocked to see that Chu Tin Tai, the owner, indeed had 50 billion. The stone block you were eyeing was actually a real treasure from the Ho Chu family. They priced it at 50 billion, knowing no one would ever spend that much on such a huge block. Even if it were cut by the emperor, it wouldn't be worth that much. But now, someone wanted to buy it. Chu Tin Tai picked up the machine, and seeing the number displayed made him even more shocked. He looked at you, smiling, thinking, who is this person? Why is he so rich? Why, just 50 billion and you're shocked? Hurry up, transfer it. I can't wait to see this block of material. You said with a confident smile. You're tempted. Very good. You're really rich. But that doesn't mean you can buy everything the Ho Chu family owns. The system beeped, announcing, congratulations to the owner for losing 50 billion in 24 hours and receiving a secret gift. New mission. Lose 100 billion in 24 hours. Mission failed. Abandon a little boy. Mission completed. Reward gift. High-end enhancement point. Secret gift unlocked. You were eager to know what this secret gift was. The system continued. Congratulations to the owner for receiving 100 enhancement points and unlocking the special feature Quick Enhancement Point +1. You also received the skill Thien Li Nyan. You were immediately thrilled, especially with the Thien Li Nyan skill. It wasn't a skill to see stars. But maybe the system knew that you liked to observe things. Instinctively, you used Thien Li Nyan on Hoang Tam Dui. Immediately, her body appeared before you. Ho Tam, what's wrong with you? Why are you bleeding? You asked. Noticing the orange color of her blood, Hoang Tam Dui was confused, not understanding what was happening. Seeing you looking at her in concern, she quickly extended her hand toward you. It's okay. Maybe I'm just feeling hot inside. You hurriedly covered your nose, trying to turn off Thien Li Nyan. But just then, you noticed the 50 billion material block in front of you. Part of the block's chest had a red color, resembling blood. You felt a sudden fear, though you didn't know much about precious stones. You knew that a blood chest was extremely rare. It wasn't just any bloodstone, it looked like real blood. Not just a normal red stone. It was said that these stones were formed from the blood of ancient gods. eventually crystallizing into the unique and priceless material known as blood chest. Of course, you weren't sure it was blood, but it was worth investigating. How do you plan to deal with this chest? An old man asked. Everyone around you was waiting to see if you would cut the stone. Apart from the emperor's chest, they were very curious about what was inside. Some people even speculated that it was abandoned, but the outside of the block was so beautiful that it seemed worth buying just to display. I plan to buy it to place it in the lotus pond at my house. Someone said, thinking it would be a nice decoration. The whole area was full of people. A $50 billion material block was being discussed as if it were just a piece to decorate a pond. You, however, weren't in a hurry to deal with this material block yet. You kept your focus on the other materials around you. After a while, you confidently assessed the stones. This one is 1.5 billion. I'll take it. This one is 3 billion. I'll take that too. And this one is 80 million. I'll also buy it. You bought over 300 material blocks, collecting them one after another. Okay, I'm done, you said, feeling satisfied with your choices. Okay, enough. Are you satisfied? The staff beside you wiped sweat from their forehead as they arranged the material blocks you chose. The total was 100 billion. You immediately handed over your bank card and swiped it. The entire area went silent again. Some people thought they were rich. But in front of you, they felt ashamed. 50 billion didn't make you blink. And now 100 billion seemed like nothing to you. Even though you might have a bank account at home, people couldn't fathom spending like this. The CEO wiped his sweat and stared in disbelief. He had never seen such talent before. The owner, who has been leading from the start, has brought us that huge profit, he muttered under his breath. The person in charge of the deal walked over to Mr. Tai and asked a small question. Mr. Tai responded with a shrug. This person is very rich. But it's all just profit for the house. The person in charge was shocked by Mr. Tai's response. Mr. Tai, if possible, buy all of our jewelry company. That's all you have? Mr. Tai asked, a look of surprise on his face. The person in charge felt nervous and didn't dare to answer. Mr. Tai looked at him, a little confused. What? He asked, sensing the unease. To tell you the truth. The person in charge continued. There's a mine behind the mountain. The giant emperor's tomb was excavated from there. And there's a lot of treasure in it. If you can afford it, you can buy it all. Mr. Tai wasn't stupid. He had heard from his grandfather that the mine behind the mountain had been closed recently. It was just a piece of land. Today, however, he met this unexpected pig in the lake, someone who could possibly bring new opportunities. He also heard rumors that the giant material from the mine was very likely to be bloodstone. It was excavated from the back of Song Bak Nha Ho Chu's mountain. You, too, were intrigued. Moreover, the system was pushing you to spend more money. First, calculate the material number, you said. Then, we'll talk about the rest. I like to work clearly and quickly, you added, eager to move things along. The manager, now excited, quickly began calculating, while Hoang Tam Dui stood next to him. Curious. Sao Mai, what do you want to do? She asked. You smiled. Nothing. I just have a lot of money. I'm using it to have fun. If I don't spend money, I feel uncomfortable. People around me want to vomit blood. Spending money is worth it. You said casually. But you also need to have money to spend. You looked around, feeling pleased with yourself. Congratulations to the owner for spending 100 billion in 24 hours. Reward received. Advanced enhancement points. New mission. Spend 200 billion in 48 hours. Mission failed. Abandon a little boy. Mission completed. Reward package of advanced enhancement points. The time for the mission was extended. The larger the amount of money, the longer the time. The system then opened the package of advanced enhancement points. Congratulations to the owner for opening the advanced enhancement points package. You received 120 points of enhancement. Current enhancement points. 220 points. Seeing more than 200 enhancement points. You were ecstatic. The people around you looked at you with confused expressions. They couldn't understand how you could be wasting money like this and still be happy. You, Mr. Tai, right? You said with a sly grin. You just said you wanted me to buy all your silver. Well, I just want to ask. The most expensive things here have already been bought by me. What else is worth selling? You asked. Your voice confident. Hoang Tam Dui, with a knowing look, replied. Who do you look down on? I've already told you. The gold mine behind the Silver River is the most valuable thing here. Don't listen to him, she added with a smirk. He's just trying to mess with you. Ho Tam. The mine behind the Silver River has been excavated for decades. Its life has come to an end. Hoang Tam Dui explained. You said you've never been there either. How do you know it's over? You asked. Teasing her. I'll tell you. The amount of treasure in the mine is nothing now. Hoang Tam Dui replied. You didn't say you wanted to buy all the silver from the mine behind the mountain. I'll sell it to you for 300 billion. You didn't say it was worth it. So go ahead. Buy it. Mr. Tai provocatively added. You smiled confidently. You think I'm a fool? Everyone knows that mine is worthless. Why would I buy it? To make a chicken coop? Hoang Tam Dui sighed. You said you wanted to buy all the silver. But why can't you do it now? How about this? Let's say the silver mine is so poor it doesn't even have food. Everything here, including the mine behind the mountain. I'll buy it all for 200 billion. Everyone around you took a deep breath. First, it was 50 billion. Then it was 100 billion. Now it was 200 billion. A total of 350 billion. Into city. Not many people had this amount of property. Moreover, this was fixed property. And in reality, you had only bought raw materials. Losing 350 billion. People began to envy the Chu family. A mine that was nearly bankrupt still earned 200 billion? Truly blessed ancestors. Okay, hurry up. Give me the money. Mr. Tai said. Agitated. You shook your head. Go get the land papers here. All the land papers of Song back too. Money for me is just a number. You added. If you don't believe me, just wait here. High management. You said. Watching him closely. I'll get the land papers right away. Mr. Tai hurriedly left to get them. Ho Tam. You're really crazy. Hoang Tam Dui said angrily. Tam Dui. Don't be angry. You reassured her. Or is it like this? Everything is here. You just have to choose one. What? Hoang Tam Dui's eyes widened. The whole Song back is shaking. After that, he's extremely jealous, she thought. Looking at you. Handsome is definitely advantageous. Hoang Tam Dui herself couldn't believe it. Ho Tam. Are you sure you're not kidding? You bought 350 billion worth of property. And you want to give it to me? Of course. I'm not kidding. You said confidently. Anyway, you are also my goddess. You think I'd give it to you and you wouldn't accept it? Wait a minute. I'm getting the land papers. You added. Brother Ho. Hoang Tam Dui said, her tone softening. I also like this place very much. Can you give it to me? Before she could finish, a voice like a fairy's interrupted. Everyone looked at her. A tomboyish girl, under everyone's attention, took off her hat, glasses, and mask. Her long hair fluttered in the wind, revealing a beautiful face that stunned everyone. It was Mu Dong Phi Nhi. She was the great beauty of Song back, second only to Hoang Tam Dui. The entire area erupted into noise. You looked at Mu Dong Phi Nhi, who was equally excited to meet you. The great beauty matched with Hoang Tam Dui's elegance. Of course, you knew of her. You had met her online. But unexpectedly, you met the second beauty of Song back in person today. Mu Dong Phi Nhi moved through the crowd and came up to you. Brother Ho, she said with a smile. I just need you to give this place to me. And I'll be your girlfriend. Before you could respond, Hoang Tam Dui was speechless. Mu Dong Phi Nhi. I didn't expect you to be so playful. Don't you know that Ho Tam is my boyfriend? He came here today to give me a gift. Hoang Tam Dui turned to you. Her eyes full of affection. Tam Ca. I really love the gift you gave me. Mu Dong Phi Nhi giggled. Hoang Tam Dui. Your attitude toward Mr. Ho wasn't like this before. How can you act like lovers now? Don't pretend. You're already engaged. Hoang Tam Dai's face grew pale. That engagement was arranged by our parents. She replied firmly. I've never agreed to it. So it has no effect. Now, Tam Ca is my man. With that, she hugged you tightly. Ho Tam, you tell me, are you my man? Hoang Tam Dui advised. Mr. Ho, Hoang Tam Dui has an engagement. And the person she's engaged to is very dangerous. If you're with her, you'll run into a lot of trouble. Mu Dong Phi Nhi warned. On the other hand, you don't have an engagement. You've never been in love. As long as you ask, marry me, you will be mine. Completely. Just like that, you asked? Your mind racing. Is it because of this little 350 billion? Mu Dong Phi Nhi smiled confidently. Don't you think I expect to be loyal to you? If that's what you think, then so be it. Anyway, you wanted to give it away. Now you can give it to me. And you'll have one more girlfriend. Why not? It's not that difficult. You hesitated, remembering your promise to Tam Dui. I promised Tam Dui. I said I could do it. So I can only apologize to you. But if you really want to be my girlfriend, I'm open to it. You just need to use money to solve it. Just say it, and I'll buy whatever you want. Really? Mu Dong Phi Nhi asked. Her eyes brightening. Of course. It's true. If you don't believe me, I'll finish up here later and go shopping with you. You'll see for yourself. Okay, I believe you, she said with a smile. From now on, you're my man, Mu Dong Phi Nhi added. Walking over to you, she shook your hand and kissed your cheek. The special feeling from her kiss made you shiver. It must be the tremendous power of her charm. Ho Tam, you are so arrogant. Seeing this, Hoang Tam Dui was angry and quickly let go of your hand. You let out a miserable laugh. Tam Dui, don't blame me for this. If you had agreed to be my girlfriend earlier, you wouldn't be facing this situation with Phi Nhi now. But you didn't agree. I didn't want to force you. Phi Nhi agreed. So it's too obvious. You continued. Hoang Tam Dui, now even angrier, responded. Who said I didn't agree? You are so arrogant. There's no other way. Anyway, you're a loyal man. But don't worry. I'll give you whatever you want. And I'll make sure to arrange a private guard for you. As long as you don't say anything, I won't leave, she added. At that moment, Mr. Tin Tai arrived, full of excitement, accompanied by a group of people. Dad, Grandpa, it's him, he said, pointing at you. Ho Tam has spent 150 billion to buy almost all the high-end materials here. I've negotiated with him. For 200 billion, he will buy everything here, including the land behind the mountain. Okay, Grandpa asked. Young man, are you sure you want to spend 200 billion to buy the property of our uncle? It's not uncertain, you replied confidently. Mainly, I want to buy it for others. The contract and transfer papers were handed to you. Sign it, pay it, Mr. Tin Tai said excitedly. Handing you the documents. You took the papers and handed over your bank card. Mr. Tin Tai received the contract and transfer papers and gave them to Hoang Tam Dui. Tam Dui, he said he can do it. Sign it. Hoang Tam Dui didn't hesitate. She received the contract and signed it directly. Congratulations to the owner for completing the mission of spending 200 billion in 48 hours. Receiving a package of high-end enhancement points. New mission. Spend 500 billion in 48 hours. Mission failed. Less than 500 enhancement points. Mission completed. Reward. High-end enhancement points. The system opened the package of high-end enhancement points. Congratulations to the owner for opening the high-end enhancement points package. Received 150 enhancement points. Current enhancement points. 370 points. Ho Tam thanked you for the gift. Realizing that you had now established a relationship with Mu Dong Phi Nhi, and decided to follow her. Hoang Tam Dui spoke in a calm tone. We're not in a hurry. I'll go to the back of the mountain to see if Chu's family still has fire or not. Hearing this, the 3 generations of Chu's family laughed. Ho Tam, you're really a rich fool. To tell you the truth, the back of the mountain has been barren for a long time. You will regret this to the point of vomiting blood. Chu Tin Tai smiled, mocking you. Really, you replied confidently. Then do you know that only the material block of the other emperor is enough to make people regret to the point of vomiting blood? The young man laughed. You're still very young. That material block. Lao Fu has been studying for over a year. Most of it is just a giant emperor block. Although it's valuable, it's absolutely not worth 50 billion. Really? You asked. If that's the case, I'll cut it open for everyone to see who will regret it in the end. With that, you led the group to the giant material block. Everyone followed, their excitement building. 5 years ago, Lao Fu wanted to see what was inside that material block. Today, we finally have the chance. Someone in the crowd murmured. To prevent any disasters, you decided to use the enhancement points to increase your strength. If you didn't, blood might appear, and some people would go crazy. System. Enhancement of spirit plus 70 points. Enhancement of physicality plus 100 points. Enhancement of strength plus 100 points. Military power enhanced to the maximum level. Congratulations on the success of the enhancement master. Current enhancement points. 320 points. Remaining enhancement points. 50 points. Congratulations on the success of the enhancement master. As you continued, you reached the end of the cave where a giant pool of water appeared. This is the A submarine system. The system informed you. Now, how long can I breathe underwater? Maximum breathing time for the owner is 12 minutes. 100.000 reinforced points can be used to enhance the super high breathing system, allowing you to breathe freely underwater. Seeing this, you gave up on the idea of going underwater. Ho Tam, did you find anything? Hoang Tam Dui asked. No, but when I went underwater, I suspected that the Emperor's jade block might have been taken from this pool of water. You explained. It's very possible that there are traces of heavy machinery around the pool. But I don't understand why my family left the pool behind. Mu Dung Phi Nhi analyzed. This place seems strange. At that moment, the water in the pool suddenly started to boil. Both Hoang Tam Dui and Mu Dung Phi Nhi quickly hid behind you. About 5 minutes later, the water calmed again. Ho Tam, did you see anything? Hoang Tam Dui asked. Curious. No, but this place is very strange. It's best to block it off again to avoid anyone accidentally entering and getting caught in something. You advised. Let's go. Let's get out of here. You said. You returned to the barge. And it was 7 o'clock in the evening. Deep Thien and Deep Dung arrived with their people to the reception. Boss, how should we deal with the jade block? Deep Thien asked. Invite the craftsman to the table as a ring or jewelry and take it away. Stay here for a while. Regarding your safety, Ho Tam has protected you. So you don't need to worry. You replied casually. Hey, Hoang Tam, he's your boyfriend now. Can you not be so intimate with him? You teased. He is your boyfriend, but he's also my personal guard. Hoang Tam Dui shot back. Come on, it's still early. Let's go spend the money. What else do you want to buy? She asked. Didn't you say you wanted to give a gift to Phi Nhi? Then Phi Nhi can buy whatever she likes. You said, grinning. Really? Tamka, I know you treat me the best. Mu Dung Phi Nhi responded enthusiastically. Come on, I want to buy a commercial building of Mo Dung Corporation. Isn't that yours? You asked. Puzzled. It's mine, but it's not really mine. After buying it, it will be mine. Mu Dung Phi Nhi explained with a mischievous grin. Okay. As long as you like it. We'll buy it. You agreed. Thank you, Tamka. I love you, she said, grateful. Tamka, let's go buy a commercial building of Mo Dung Corporation, she said, pulling you along. You instinctively glanced at Hoang Tam Dui, who blinked at you in response. The commercial building of Mo Dung Corporation was located in the development area of 2 cities in tow. A car stopped nearby, and the 3 of you got out. Quick. Look over there, that must be Hoang Tam Dui, the first beauty of Toh City. Someone whispered. Oh my god, Mu Dung Phi Nhi, the second beauty of Toh City, is also there, another voice added. The first beauty and the second beauty are together? Who is that young man? How can 2 beauties live together? More and more people were staring, gossiping as they watched you. Hoang Tam Dui and Mu Dong Phi Nhi immediately put on their masks and glasses, trying to hide from the crowd. Though it only took a few minutes to walk, it took 15 minutes for you to reach the commercial building of Mo Dong Corporation. At this time, a girl with a pretty appearance like Mu Dong Phi Nhi stepped out of the company. As soon as she saw Mu Dong Phi Nhi, she said, "Mu Dong Phi Nhi, where have you been? You didn't answer the phone or reply to the messages. Do you know that Ma Dong and Thu Jia has been waiting for you all day? Hurry up and apologize to him." The girl added. Mu Dong Phi Nhi shook her head, speaking in a very intimate tone. "Ma Dongan is waiting for me? What does that have to do with me?" she said nonchalantly. "Ah, let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Ho Tam. Get out of the way. Tam Ca came here to deal with important matters." Mu Dong Phi Nhi added, her tone dismissive. "Mu Dong Phi Nhi. You're too spoiled. Do you know that Ma Thu Jia sees you as his lucky charm? You're so quick to give someone a boyfriend nickname. But you're really foolish. You shut up." Mu Dong Phi Nhi snapped. "You respect Ma Dongan so much. Then kick him out," she said sharply, before turning to you. "Let's go, Tam Ca," she said, taking your hand and heading towards the commercial building. At that moment, a group of people arrived, led by a young man. "Uncle Mo Dong, don't worry," the young man said reassuringly. "As long as you and Phi Nhi get married, I'll immediately invest 100 billion into your company." Ma Thu Jia smiled warmly. "My daughter can give birth to a talented young man like you. You are his lucky charm." Everyone around was stunned by this young man's confidence and charm. "Phi Nhi, your last child is back. Hurry up," someone called. "This is Ma Dong-in. Ma Thu Jia, your future fiancé." "Dad, what nonsense are you talking about?" Mu Dong Phi Nhi responded quickly. "Ho Tam is your son-in-law." After saying that, Mu Dong Phi Nhi stayed close to you. This scene made Ma Dong-an's face immediately darken. His cold eyes were fixed on you. "Youth," he sneered. "Do you know that Mu Dong Phi Nhi is my woman?" "What crazy dog is barking like that?" he said, clearly irritated. You took a step back, letting your eyes wander. What was this tension? How far would this go? The members of Mo Dong's family were shocked to the point of forgetting how to react. They thought, who is this young man? How dare he blame Ma Thu Jia? Ma Thu Jia's great-grandfather? I misheard. It sounds like a crazy dog. One of them muttered. Mu Dong Phi Nhi really hated Ma Dongan but didn't say anything. This made his family nervous. Mo Dong Phi Nhi. What nonsense are you talking about? You didn't even apologize to Ma Thu Jia. You're an ungrateful daughter. Mo Dong Thien shouted, raising his hand to hit Mu Dong Phi Nhi. Mu Dong Phi Nhi was truly afraid and hurriedly hid behind you. Mo Dong Thien, come on, hit me if you dare. Pull me out. If not, I'll hit you too, the young man said, standing his ground. You better think carefully before blaming me. Seeing this, Mo Dong Thien hesitated. Usually, people feared his temper, but now, he couldn't act. The young man was calm and collected. And more importantly, he dared to blame Ma Dong-in, Ma Thu Jia's great-grandfather. Ma Dong-in also stepped forward, raising his hand to strike you. But you didn't flinch. Instead, you raised your hand first and struck, knocking Ma Dong-in to the ground. The guards watching were clearly Ma Dong-an's. You, Cone, how dare you hit me? One of them shouted as they jumped toward you. In a flash, you moved quickly, throwing a stone that sent Ma Dong-in flying more than 10 meters before he crashed to the ground. You hit me? Useless thing. Wasting my time and money. You said coldly. Afterward, you turned to Mo Dong Thien, grinning. You're Phi Nhi's father, right? I am. Mo Dong Thien replied, completely shocked by your actions. At first, Mu Dong Phi Nhi only wanted to use you as a shield. But now, she realized she was genuinely touched. Not only did you have money, but you also knew how to fight. You were handsome, and who wouldn't like that? Beat him for me, Mu Dong Phi Nhi ordered. As Ma Dong-in began to wake up, shouting angrily, His guards immediately moved to act. But they were no longer confident. They approached Yu cautiously. In a few seconds, the special guards that Ma Dong'an prided himself on had all lost their fighting ability. Lying on the ground, Yu looked at Mo Dong-thean, smiling. So, here's the story. My wife, Phi Nhi, is very interested in Mo Dong's body. So go ahead. 500 billion. Sell all of Mo Dong's property for me in the name of my wife. Mo Dong Phi Nhi. The Mo Dong family was stunned. 500 billion to buy their property was obviously not a good deal. Yet, Mo Dong's assets were in crisis. The most important thing was that after buying, the property would be named after Mo Dong Phi Nhi, and 500 billion would be invested by the company. But ultimately, it would still belong to Mo Dong's family. Mo Dong-thean hesitated. You, my brother, are you serious? You're not joking, right? You think we look like we're joking? You said. Tossing a bank card at him. Mo Dong-thean eagerly grabbed the card. But his breath became erratic. A crowd had gathered, and no one moved to bring the machine over. Finally, someone reacted and hurried to get the machine. Mo Dong-thean, Dicton thou talk. You said impatiently. Please enter the password. 123,456. You said with a sigh. Your frustration evident. The Mo Dong family was stunned again. The 500 billion bank card had such a simple password. Aren't you afraid it'll be stolen? They thought. After entering the password, the machine confirmed that there was indeed 500 billion. No more, no less. You really want this to be official? Mo Dong-thean asked, still in disbelief. Yes. Hurry up, transfer the money, then name the company after my wife. Mo Dong Phi Nhi. You urged, clearly impatient. Don't waste my time. I'm busy. Mo Dong-thean, still excited but nervous, activated the transfer. The company account received the 500 billion. A moment later, the secretary's phone rang, and the newspaper received a message. Even so, some people still didn't dare to believe it. They quickly checked to confirm if it was really 500 billion or not. The secretary, too, quickly looked at the numbers. 5 followed by a chain of zeros, checked it again and again, and was finally shocked to confirm that it was indeed 500 billion. Hurry up, name the company for my wife. You urged, noticing the system hadn't announced the completion of the task. You were frustrated, as the Mo Dong family didn't dare delay any further. Despite everyone's best efforts, the process was complicated and took 2 hours to complete the name change. Congratulations to the owner for completing the task of losing 500 billion in 48 hours. Reward. Advanced enhancement points. New task. Livestream to lose 1.000 billion in 10 days. Task completed. Reward. Secret gift. You were extremely surprised by the secret gift. As for the task of live streaming the loss of 1.000 billion, you didn't care. After all, it was just more money to waste. But the secret gift was enticing, and you eagerly looked forward to it. Thank you, husband, Mu Dong Phi Nhi said. After receiving all the property of the Mo Dong group, she kissed you and hugged you tightly. But it was a bit too much, she kissed you a little wrong. Hoang Tam Dui watched this with a hint of jealousy. Although you had also given her a priceless gift, she didn't make any further advances. Phi Nhi. There are many people watching. You whispered, but she didn't care. I'm kissing my husband. Who can stop me? Mu Dong Phi Nhi became incredibly attractive in that moment. Come on, I still have work to do. Phi Nhi. I've finished the company's work. Come and find me later. You said, pulling away and walking off. Hoang Tam Dui, feeling a little helpless, followed you. There is someone who really meets a person who loves them, she said coldly. Curious, you asked. What do you mean? Hoang Dai Mai Nyan? What do I mean? She shot back. Someone knows clearly in their heart. Hearing that, you understood. You were now close to Hoang Tam Dui and gently took her hand. Tam Dui, do you really like him? You asked. Teasing her. Hoang Tam Dui blushed, visibly upset. Let me go. I don't like you, she denied quickly. But her jealousy was obvious when she saw Phi Nhi kiss you. Good. I get it, you said, smiling. Hoang Tam Dui. You don't want to admit you're jealous. She tried to deny it again. But she didn't pull her hand away. You took this opportunity to gently wrap your arm around her waist. Unexpectedly, Hoang Tam Dui slapped you again. You froze, not understanding what she was thinking. This slap, however, couldn't go unaddressed. Feeling angry, you quickly hugged her and ran to a secluded place. Ho Tam, what do you want to do? Hoang Tam Dui asked, her voice trembling in fear. What do I want to do? You replied. Amused. At first, I didn't want to do anything. But you slapped me. If I don't do anything, it'll be really terrible, you added with a grin. An hour and a half later, you let go of her and asked, do you dare hit me again? No, Hoang Tam Dui replied, though it was clear she wasn't angry. On the contrary, she seemed happy at heart. Despite trying to hide it, Mu Dung Phi Nhi wanted to challenge a man in front of me. But I told her to lie down and rest. We were heading home, and once we got there, I carried Hoang Tam Dui to bed. Rest easy and sleep, I told her, but I couldn't sleep. Instead, I lay on the bed playing on my phone. To complete the task of spending 1.000 billion on the internet. I, who had never watched a livestream before, had to download an app. As I watched, those proposed to me started to appear. And then, a familiar name caught my eye, Hong and Ni. Isn't this my little sister? I quickly clicked follow, and a window opened. The person I was following, Hong and Ni, was live streaming an entertainment show. The little sister is still live streaming? Isn't she supposed to be at school? I quickly commented, asking. I'm off school, she replied. My grades aren't great. Mainly, my parents made some mistakes. So I have to help them pay off the debt. I was taken aback. I didn't know that my family had been in such trouble. But why didn't your parents tell you? I asked. My parents only have me as a daughter. She responded. Well, there's also a brother, but he's a useless name. All he does is ask for money from my parents and waste his time wandering around, doing nothing. I can't even stand him. I was stunned when I read this. That's how my family sees me. I thought. My little sister wasn't kidding. Are you serious? I asked her, feeling a mix of guilt and anger. Is your brother really that bad? Do your parents think so too? Yes. My whole family thinks so. She replied. When the accident happened, my parents didn't let me contact him. Anyway, he's useless. He can't help with anything. I just hope he doesn't keep asking for money from our parents. But thank God, he hasn't been doing that recently. Hearing this, I immediately felt bad about my image in the eyes of my family. I couldn't believe how badly they thought of me. Trying to cheer myself up, I posted a message on Linestream. Tamka, thank you, Hong and Ni excitedly typed in response. Having just live streamed for a while with barely any gifts. Congratulations, Tamka, for posting on Nan Yi's Linestream. Congratulations, Tamka, for opening the air conditioner in Nan Yi's Linestream. Dozens of viewers in Linestream were shocked. Congratulations, Tamka, for opening the bathroom in Nan Yi's Linestream. Oh my god, it's a bathroom, one commenter exclaimed. Opening the bathroom costs 15 Vietnamese dongs. A rich man, another commenter added. Nan Nhi must have been noticed by a rich man. Thank you, Tamka, Hong and Ni said. I bow my head to thank Tamka. She learned from famous streamers to express gratitude. Congratulations, Tamka, for opening the kingdom in Nan Yi's Linestream. Immediately, all the Linestream platforms posted banners announcing, wow, what a streamer. This Tamka seems to be a new nickname. This is ridiculous. Out of curiosity, nearly 10,000 people flocked to Nan Yi's Linestream. The stream wasn't very special, and the streamer wasn't particularly beautiful. But perhaps she had a unique talent that caught people's attention. The streamer's talent, especially that of MD, quickly attracted a surge of new viewers to comment. Ho Nan Nhi was taken by surprise. With the 60,000 viewers plus the previous total, she had nearly 100,000 viewers now. As a free streamer, she only had to share a percentage with the platform and didn't have a management company to take a cut. So she probably had around 50,000 in actual earnings. Congratulations, Tamka, for opening the kingdom in Nanyi's line stream. The banner announcing this flashed across the entire platform. The whole platform was stunned. Many people wanted to know who this non-NHI was. Who could make such a powerful impression? Some streamers were also intrigued. However, just as everyone was excited to enter the line stream room to see who Tamka was, suddenly, everyone's phones rang. A giant yellow dragon appeared, flying around Nanyi's line stream room, surrounded by countless fireworks. Oh my god! Activating the hidden effect. Congratulations, Tamka, for extending 10,000 emperors in Nanyi's line stream room. The viewers were shocked. This was $1 billion gift. Even parts of the line stream platform started to go crazy. People were desperate to know who this giant benefactor was. But just when everyone thought that the gifting spree would continue, Tamka's avatar in the line stream room suddenly disappeared. A moment later, the manager of the line stream platform called. Hello, I'm the manager of the line stream platform. May I ask if you are Tamka, the giant who just extended 10,000 emperors in Nanyi's line stream room? Before the manager could finish, you cut him off. Yes, you replied. I find the extension of each emperor very annoying. Can you see if you can make a package of 10,000 or 100,000 emperors? Also, how about adding some exclusive gifts? Every time I give 100 billion, for example, it should be real money. The manager on the other side of the line went silent. The senior managers of the line stream platform, who had been listening in, were stunned by your words. Tamka, are you kidding? One of the managers asked after a while. What do you mean, kidding? You replied. I just have a lot of money with nowhere to spend it. You guys should prepare me a big gift. Something worth 100 billion. Even 1.000 billion. I'm waiting for the money. You hung up the phone and waited patiently. Meanwhile, the gift effect in Nanyi's line stream room continued, as each emperor effect lasted 30 seconds. Maybe that's it. The effect wouldn't stop in just 1 to 2 days. About 15 minutes later, you received a notification from the platform. We have opened Tamka's special money-saving feature. Every time you save 10 billion, you can also give a special gift equivalent to 1 billion in real money. Excited, you started saving money until 500 billion, and the system still hadn't stopped. At this point, all the senior managers of the platform were left stunned. Under the supervision of the entire team, you continued saving, and by the end of it, you had saved 990 billion. When combined with the 1.000 billion you had opened through the Emperor effects, you were ready to make a move. But this time, you didn't plan to give it all to non-NHI. Maybe he wants to use money to support non-NHI. At this moment, the boss made a big decision. After calculating, he concluded that if Tamka really spent 1.000 billion on non-NHI, they would change the share ratio with her to 3 out of 7, meaning they would have 3. And non-NHI would have 7. Meanwhile, in Nanyi's livestream room, Nanyi's shock began to subside, and she finally felt relieved. Tamka had helped her in a way she couldn't even fully express. Thank you, Tamka, she said, her voice filled with gratitude. But beyond that, she didn't know how else to express her feelings. Who was Tamka, after all? Why did he give 10 billion to a newbie streamer like her? Someone whom many people had doubted. At that moment, a beautiful super effect appeared, and a golden glow filled the screen. Congratulations to Tamka for the Super Emperor's exclusive gift in Nanyi's livestream room. Viewers quickly realized that your name had now become synonymous with the Super Emperor. Many rushed to see the exclusive gift. Oh my god, the exclusive gift from the God of Fortune. It's worth 1 billion. Congratulations to Tamka for the Super Emperor's exclusive gift. The God of Fortune. +2, +3. Immediately, viewers saw the God of Fortune overflow the screen. This time, the gift was worth 1 billion, truly extravagant. Even A-tier streamers and superstars began sending private messages, hoping that this rich man would visit their livestream rooms to share the God of Fortune with them. As for Non-Nhi, her face had turned pale from the shock. Congratulations to Tamka for the Super Emperor's exclusive gift. The God of Fortune, plus 100 in Nani's livestream room. Just 100 billion, this was still ongoing. The super rich man was giving exclusive gifts worth 1 billion each time. And the entire platform was shaken. Countless people flooded into the livestream. The number of viewers in Nani's livestream room surged past 9 million. Quickly approaching 10 million. This was an unprecedented achievement, an extraordinary moment in livestream history. Even the big TV stations began reporting on the God of Fortune plus 499. Plus 500. 500 billion, this is incredible. Many people were left speechless. For Non-Nhi, people couldn't help but feel that she was incredibly lucky. As for you, people were even more curious. The number of viewers in Nani's livestream room reached an all-time high of 10 million. The God of Fortune continued to flow, plus 989. Plus 990. Just when everyone was wondering if the total had surpassed 1 billion. The gifts stopped. Congratulations to the owner for completing the livestream mission to spend 1 billion. Receiving a mysterious gift. New mission. Spend 1.500 billion in 48 hours. Mission failed. Minus 1.000 enhancement points. Mission completed. Reward, highest enhancement points. The mysterious gift system announced that you had received 500 enhancement points. Plus multi-skill points. 200 enhancement points for fixed spirit. And the skill Aerial Wave. You were ecstatic. You hadn't expected to gain new skills. Without wasting any time, you eagerly watched the details of Aerial Wave. Aerial Wave. Power, quality, speed, enhanced spirit with a maximum of 500 new points that can be used. After using it, you could fly in the air. The skill sounded incredibly powerful. But with 500 enhancement points at once, you felt a bit uncomfortable. Despite the mysterious gift giving you 500 points, it still wasn't enough. System. Enhancement of 4 properties up to 300 points. Congratulations to the owner for the successful enhancement. You could immediately feel the changes in your body. Your power had now increased by 30 times. Far beyond its normal level. At that moment, a familiar phone call came in. Labeled, Sister. Brother, where are you? Your sister is rich now. Do you know there's a wealthy man named Tamka who gave you 10.000 emperors? And then sent you a 990 billion exclusive gift? That's the real 990 billion. So he called and said he'd share it according to a 3-to-7 ratio, 3 for them. 7 for you. You already have 700 billion. Come back soon. I'll buy you a mansion. A supercar. And find you a beautiful wife. In the past, you said your brother was useless. Why are you treating me so well now? Sister, how do you know I'm still watching your livestream? I'm surprised. You replied. To be honest, I'm here because of Tamka. The money was given by him. But, it's too late. What happened to our family? If you have the money, please help redeem the house and pay off the debt. Also, please come back to school. If there's anything you can't solve, let me know. It had been a while since you last spoke. You and your wife were asleep when the phone rang. Meanwhile, Hoang Tam Dui woke up to the sound of you talking on the phone with a girl. She immediately asked, Who are you talking to? My sister, Hong and Ni. The baby is live streaming. I gave her a small gift. How are you? You answered. Of course, I'm fine. Why, are you jealous again? You teased. I don't want to be jealous. She replied with a laugh. The next day, after lunch, you started preparing to continue spending money. Husband, where are you going to spend money? Hoang Tam Dui asked. This time, we're going to spend 1.500 billion. You said confidently. Hoang Tam Dui joked. So we'll start from the old neighborhood. Buy everything, then buy a new neighborhood. In the end, the entire city of Jiangtan will be yours. Hearing that, your eyes lit up. Wife, this is a good plan. We can't delay anymore. Let's go right now. Hoang Tam Dui immediately said. You should know this is a big city. Although it's not as large as Matto. Its GDP is over 20.000 billion. The entire city is estimated to be worth less than 100.000 billion. There's so much money that you can't even buy the whole city. Seeing her drive you to the old neighborhood, Hoang Tam Dui was shocked. Husband, are you serious? Of course, I'm serious. Anyway, I don't lack money. You responded. Once we buy it, I'll name it all after you. Hoang Tam Dui was incredibly shocked. At that moment, a Vietja car rushed straight toward you. Seeing this, she immediately swerved the wheel, causing the car to hit the side of the road. Fortunately, she avoided a fatal collision with the Vietja car. However, the Vietja car turned around and continued to chase. Unfortunately, the system had enhanced your driving skills. Enhancing driving skills to the maximum level required 100 enhancement points. Enhance? Enhanced. Congratulations to the owner for enhancing 100 points. Driving skills have been successfully enhanced to the maximum level. Remaining enhancement points. 24. With the ultimate driving skills, you felt the car become an extension of your body. It was like second nature. You understood every characteristic of the car like the back of your hand. You accelerated to the maximum speed. But the Vietja car's speed was still incomparable. It was about to overtake you. Husband, what should we do? They're clearly targeting us. Hoang Tam Dui cried. Trust me, I won't let you get hurt. You reassured her, glancing through the rearview mirror. Seeing the opponent close in, Hoang Tam Dui was terrified. This was the first time she had ever experienced something like this in her life. In a moment of danger, you relied on your ultimate driving skills, pushing the car to the limit. Despite that, the terrifying power of the Vietja car still made your car flip over. Just as the Vietja car turned to strike again, you swerved the car out of its path. Hoang Tam Dui, eyes wide with fear, closed her eyes in terror. You drove straight into the Vietja car, hitting it head-on. The car rolled multiple times before finally landing upside down. Fortunately, the Vietja car was made of special materials, so it didn't suffer much damage. However, the car doors opened, and 4 gas tanks emerged, each holding a weapon. The weapons immediately fired at your car. Just as Hoang Tam Dui opened her eyes, she saw this scene and her face turned pale. Though she was a martial arts master, she knew she couldn't withstand the barrage of bombs. You turned around and sped up to escape the rain of bullets. Fortunately, the enemy didn't chase after you. After a while, you left them behind. Hoang Tam Dui looked back with a fearful expression, still processing what had just happened. Why didn't anyone chase after us? Hoang Tam Dui sighed in relief, watching her husband drive. Yesterday, he had committed a crime with Dong An's code. These people must have been hired by him. Hearing this, you nodded, reassuring her. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. You continued driving toward the old street. The area was quite bustling, although many of the houses were old. Husband, if you really want to buy it, we should first go to the real estate companies. It'll be more convenient and faster. Hoang Tam Dui suggested. The biggest real estate company in the old street is the one we should look at. It has a market value of over 1.000 billion. She added. You quickly headed to the mall. As you entered, the staff approached with a serious face. Hello, may I ask what you two are doing here? I want to meet the boss of this company. I have a matter to discuss with him. You said confidently. Please wait a moment, the staff member replied. Not long after, a middle-aged man stepped up. Greeting you both. Hoang Tam Dui. Tu Tu, the most beautiful lady in my city. What brings you here? I'm Lahang, the boss of the real estate company. The man introduced himself. This is my husband, Hoang Tam Dui said. My husband wants to buy your real estate company. Lahang looked at you incredulously. What? Your husband wants to buy my real estate company? He must be crazy. He smirked, clearly thinking it was a joke. Do you know the strength of my real estate company? Its market value is over 1.100 billion. What does your husband have that can buy my company? Based on the fact that I have money. You replied calmly, pulling out a bank card. Here's the card. There's 1.500 billion in it. Buy your real estate company back. La Hang raised an eyebrow. Skeptical. You say there's 1.500 billion in this card? Let me see. He typed in the password. 123,456. The secretary quickly ran to him, holding the result in her hand. Boss, there really is 1.500 billion. La Hang was taken aback, stunned by the reality of the amount. So, you really want to use 1.500 billion to buy my real estate company? Of course, you said. Now, please transfer the company to my wife's name. Hoang Tam Dui intervened, concerned. Husband, forget it. It's too expensive. Don't worry, wife. You reassured her, smiling. I'll do whatever it takes for you. Ho Tien Sin, are you serious? La Hang asked again, clearly astonished. It's hard to believe you're giving away 1.500 billion just to chase after your girlfriend. Just transfer it, you said, getting impatient. 400 billion's nothing, so don't hesitate. La Hang was clearly still in disbelief. But eventually, the transaction was handed over to Hoang Tam Dui. It took 2 hours to finalize everything. Hoang Tam Dui, still incredulous, held the completed contract in her hand. I can't believe it. The real estate company is now worth 1.500 billion. Thank you, she said, handing the contract over to you. You took the contract and flipped it over. The real estate company is worth 1.500 billion. The owner is Hoang Tam Dui. Ho Tam? Why did you add my name? La Hang asked, confused. You're my wife. If I bought the company, of course, I have to add your name. You replied, smiling. But now, why hasn't the task been completed yet? You asked yourself. Husband, what task? Hoang Tam Dui was curious. Nothing, you muttered, heading to the bathroom for a moment. System. The owner has violated the rules multiple times by cooperating with others to pay the task fee. As a result, this time it will not count as completing the task. Please pay the personal fee to complete the task. Shut up, you muttered, frustrated. At first, you thought the task fee could be paid however you liked. To anyone you wanted, but that wasn't the case now. What should I do, you wondered. Maybe Hoang Tam Dui gave up her name to avoid further embarrassment. System. Is there any way to fix this mistake and still complete the task? The system responded. You may complete the task, but you will not receive any reward. Are you sure you want to complete the task? It asked. You immediately refused. No reward for the task meant that the 1.500 billion wasn't wasted. But there was no other way. The general manager assured Hoang Tam Dui that the company would be returned to you. Okay, you said. Complete the task. Congratulations. The owner has completed the task of spending 1.500 billion in 48 hours. Because the task was not completed personally, no reward will be given. If violated again, the punishment will be severe. Please be careful. New task. Spend 2.000 billion in 48 hours. Mission failed. Minus 1.200 enhancement points. Mission completed. Reward. Maximum enhancement points. When you stepped out of the bathroom with a sour face, you got ready to go home. Hoang Tam Dui spoke up. I just saw in your group that tonight there's a class meeting. You're all following your lover. Can I go with you? Sure, I've never attended a class meeting. You replied casually. Husband, you lied to me, Hoang Tam Dui said skeptically. How can you have never attended a class meeting? I really haven't, you answered. They always said I was poor, so I was never invited. Hoang Tam Dui laughed. Husband, you're deliberately making fun of me. Since yesterday, I've lost thousands of billions. And you still say I'm poor? That's right, I'm poor, you said, smiling. Enough showing off in front of me. Go and show off in front of your classmates. They really like to compare. Let's go. You both decided to walk to the class meeting. Walking is fine. It's good exercise, you said as you hugged her. Just as you started walking, a deafening sound broke the silence. It was the sound of a Barrett sniper rifle. Like something out of a film. At the same time, You smelled the strong odor of gunpowder. Husband, there's a killer, Hoang Tam Dui said, clearly alarmed. She had experience with barrel guns and recognized the sound of a sniper rifle immediately. Her heart raced in fear. The speed of a person can't be faster than a bullet, she thought, as she felt dizzy and then heard the bullet whizzing past her back. The shot left a huge hole in the wall. The killer was stunned. They had aimed at her, but she'd avoided the shot. In a flash, Hoang Tam Dui jumped to the opposite wall. Husband, what should I do? Trust me, I won't let you get hurt, you said, reassuring her. Looking through the rearview mirror, you saw the killer aiming to fire again. Hoang Tam Dui closed her eyes. Terrified, you relied on your enhanced driving skills and pushed the car to its limit. But despite your skills, the Vietja car's speed was still overwhelming. Husband, what should we do? They're clearly targeting us, Hoang Tam Dui cried. Trust me, I won't let you get hurt, you said confidently, looking in the rearview mirror. As you made a move to avoid the gunfire, the killer's car got dangerously close. But you turned swiftly, pushing your car to its limits. The crash was unavoidable, but with your enhanced driving skills, you managed to get ahead. Suddenly, the sound of the sniper rifle rang again. Hoang Tam Dui, having used her psychic power, locked onto the target at maximum speed. But the killer didn't stand a chance. You grabbed the barrel of the rifle with an unimaginable strength, easily deflecting the shot. Is Dong An's code wrong? The killer thought. Unable to recover, he pulled out a knife, trying to get close, but it was too late. A loud bang rang out, and the killer's head exploded on the spot. When you turned back to check, Hoang Tam Dui had disappeared. Panic surged in your chest. Had she left on her own? Or had she been kidnapped by the gang? You quickly grabbed your phone to call her, but the screen showed it was off. Your heart sank. Despite having a lot of money, you couldn't shake the feeling of helplessness. Then, a thought struck you. Amvong. People say that Amvong can do anything. Surely someone can find Hoang Tam Dui's whereabouts.